They probably just gonna. Oh, we in Bravo. They probably gonna kick me out, man. Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy, Vacation Time with Ryan. We in Bravo for this one, Santiago Dominican Republic. But I got a story time for y'all. I kind of been laying low on the story times, only because I changed the way I date now. I'm pretty blunt, honest, straight to the point, because I realize a lot of people play games in dating in 2025 and in modern times. So, I just ain't got time for that anymore. But I do have one that I'm going to give y'all. And full disclaimer before we get started. If you are sensitive to truth or words, this video may not be for you. All right. So if you're going to be triggered, I am from love. I love every country in the world. I love everybody in the world. I'm a peaceful brother, but I do tell some of my stories and experiences just in case it can help somebody out there in the world, or if it's for pure entertainment and if you enjoy them, please enjoy. Nothing I say will be coming from a negative place. All right. I'm peace. I'm love. So let's just get that out of the way. I love the Dominican Republic. This is just my story. All right, now that we got that out the way, let's get started. So, we have a young lady I met. Let's just call her, we're going to name her Miss Santiago. All right, cool. So, Miss Santiago, I did not meet through a dating app or none of that, right? But I met her through a little dating group or whatever, right? Cool. So, we met. She told me she had just joined it. She doesn't like it. Everybody in the group is looking for box. Everybody's trying to tell her to pull up to Sosua, invite her to Sosua, offering her money in exchange for photos, and she's not with none of that. And just a little side note, to each his own. Y'all brothers paying money for photos? I understand you having your fun in person, but geez. Anyways, judgment-free zone here. I don't care what y'all do. I get it. Anyways, she said, yeah, she doesn't like it. A lot of the brothers in there are just really driven by trying to hook up. Cool. So I said, all right, whatever. I see through that. That don't impress me. So, I continue talking. Okay. First green flag, something I like. We get on video right away. Everything checks out. She's not a catfish. She's pretty. Everything was cool. So I'm like, all right, green flag. So we talking. Boom. She's in Santiago. She tells me she lives alone. All that good stuff. Right. She was about 23, one child, and yeah. So we talking, getting to know each other. She was very fast-paced. When I say fast-paced, I don't mean like rushy, but like she was a little clingy. She gave me a little nickname. She was just, super, super complimentative, if that's a word. If it's not a word, sue me. She was complimenting me every 5 seconds. Now, to me, again, that don't move me because I'm like, you're doing too much. But then after a while, I realized that's just kind of part of her personality. And she does it because she likes to receive a lot of compliments. So that was her way of trying to get me to compliment her. Like, she's type that looks in the mirror and like, I'm so pretty. Like, she had that vibe, right? So that's when I realized, okay, I see why she's like that. She's just naturally like that, and that's cool. Everybody has their own thing. Cool. I'm not judging that. All right. So we getting to know each other. We talking, and it was cool at first. After a while, in the future, I started getting a little bit exhausted with all the calls because she was the type, like, I'll be like, yo, I'm going to call you back. Oh, wow. I almost got distracted looking at my own video. I don't know if y'all peeped that. Anyways, so, wow. All right. Sorry for that interruption. I am a human being. I didn't even notice that, I guess, in real time. But anyways, so, yeah, she used to like I'll be like, hey, I'm going to call you back. I'm going to go handle something. And the fact that I said I would call you back, she would literally call me back 20 minutes later, and just like, hola, amor. I'm just like, I'm sitting there like, yo, I said I would call you back. Anyway, so I was like, you know what? All right, whatever. Some people say, well, at least she's not calling another ninja. You know what I'm saying? She may be clingy, but at least she doing it with you. All right, cool, whatever, cool. And I'm not naive either. She could have had 5 other dudes in the chamber. So before you comment that, let me just get rid of that option. Cause I know that's what y'all gonna say. Anyway, so let me continue my story. So, boom, yeah. So she was that type. She would call. Even when I told her I would call you back, she would still call, and we would talk. Cool. Some days I wouldn't pick up. Some days I would. All right. So when I met Shorty, we getting to know each other, all that good stuff for a little while. She was living in Santiago, and then she said, after like a short little while, she was like, she's gonna go to Bavaro to stay with her to visit her sister, because her sister said she could get her a job over there in Bavaro, right? Which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically Punta Cana, right? So it's close. Yeah, it's basically Punta Cana. Anyways, so she went, and this bus ride she took was all like I would literally like witness it. Like, she would call me from the bus. Like, the bus ride was all day long, right? Keep that in your memory bank. So she would go all the way there, and I watched her get the job. Like, I watched her go to the interview, got the job, and then she called me on the job. Like, she would call me. She's in uniform, talking to me. It was like some receptionist type vibe. Cool, whatever. So I would talk to her same way while she was at work. We both would be at work talking. I got one of those jobs. She got one of those jobs. So we both talking. Whatever. Cool. All I'm saying is I'm coming. So all this talking and all this stuff is just going to create good chemistry. So when I pull up, it's going to be a good vibe. That's it. Cool. So after a while, she quits the job, right? I know you guys are going to love that part. She quits the job, and then she told me it was a problem with her pay. They agreed on one amount. Boss didn't give her the amount they agreed on, so she quit. So she literally quit because she didn't get paid what she was promised to be paid, to literally do nothing. So now she's looking for a job, looking. And this whole time, she doesn't ask me for money. She doesn't spew her problems on me. I could tell she's having issues, but she doesn't put it on me. One time, she had an issue with the babysitter. They didn't want to I don't know. The baby wasn't being treated fairly or whatever. So she went, got her baby, got on a bus, went all the way back to Santiago to where her family at, left the baby with her family, and then got back on the bus. So the next day, because this bus is like a 10-hour trip like situation, like from one bus to the next bus, and next to the next, to the next, to the next. Because from Bavaro to Santiago is a heck of a journey, especially when you don't have a car. Cool, sure, all right, cool. So she left baby, jumped back, went all the way back to Bavaro. I guess she figured it's better opportunity there. Cool. Now, I noticed some little red flags here and there. No proof, but I'm good at picking out these red flags. Now, there were some nights, well, not nights. There was one night where I noticed she didn't call me, but she said her phone connection, they lost light, and she couldn't pay the little phone internet thing to the next day. Now I have lived there, so I've seen it happen before in real time. Usually when the light leaves, it does mess with the Wi-Fi and all that. But I've seen my ex, she would usually just get on the phone, 5 more minutes, and typically it would be fine. But sometimes, yeah, it would kind of mess up the connection. So if you want, you could believe it, but me, I'm not going to believe nothing. Just off the strength of, I don't trust nobody no more. So automatically, I'm like, oh, you full of it. But cool, let's keep playing the little game. So she said, yeah, yeah, me and more, da, 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 da. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. Because I'm like, I don't care whether you telling the truth or not. I really don't care. So, anyways, so that was a red flag to me. So, boom. That happened maybe twice. Maybe twice. Once or twice. Okay, cool. Now fast forward. We still talking regular stuff. She hasn't found a job yet. She went back to Santiago one time, boom, to visit her baby for like 2 days. Boom, came back to Bavaro. So now I'm like, you still ain't working. You're going back and forth to Santiago. You're eating. Every here and there, she would like do her nails and stuff. But I figure her sister is taking care of her. Because she told me her sister is a bartender, right? Cool. So here's red flag number 2 for me. All right. So one day I call her, right? And she's out. Like, seemed to be at a club or something. And I don't care what you do with your time. It doesn't bother me. But she would always just tell me everything, and I wouldn't ask. And when she get to a place, she would video call me, and I'd be like, you don't have to do that. Like, I don't care. But she would feel the need like she had to. Oh, we're gonna go out for a drink. She'll call me. See, I'm here, I'm alone. I'm like, all right, you're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, the one time when I called her and she was out, she ain't tell me about it. So all I'm saying is, like, you're reversing the pattern. Like, you created a pattern with me, and now you broke the pattern. So obviously it's weird. So I call her, I see she's out. She answered, by the way. She answers on video, and I see she's out. I'm like, oh, my bad, I didn't know you was out. All right, I'll talk to you later. And she's like, no, me and more. I'm just like, yo, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then she texted me. Sorry to interrupt the story. Just to let you know what you're looking at, this is a little throwaway footage I have from Bonao. Back to the story. Blowing me up. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to sleep. Like, I don't care. Like, have a good night. And she's like, oh, my sister, she's a bartender and she's bored at work. And she calls me to come over and hang out with her. And I'm like, you don't have to explain yourself. I genuinely don't care. Like, and I'm not even BSing. Like, I don't care. Like, me 2 years ago, I would have cared. But I don't care anymore because I don't believe nothing going on overseas anymore. You know what I'm saying? Or even here, like, I just don't be believing nothing anymore. But anyways, maybe that's a personal issue I got. But anyways, she felt the need to keep calling me, blowing me up, and trying to, like, explain. That's a red flag too, right? Cool, no problem. All right, boom. So we continued talking normal because to me that was enough red flags. So I imagine even if I did care and I wanted to take her serious, she kind of disqualified herself with the red flags already. But again, I already assumed that she had other dudes. I assumed that she's just trying to play the long game, quote unquote. I assumed that she just wanted money, and not saying I'm not open minded. If she was an amazing person, I would take her serious. But I'm just assuming the worst. That way, if the best happen, I'll embrace it. But I assume the worst. So when I say I don't care, I genuinely am assuming that they're, they're playing games or just trying to get money or whatever. Cool. Anyways, let me continue. So as time gets closer to the trip, still talking, but slowly I'm getting a little bit more annoyed because I start seeing the little red flags, and then I just kind of like just getting a little annoyed because it's like, cool, I don't care, do you, but don't play with my intelligence now. Don't do that now. That's disrespectful. So cool, she's like, she would always like try to reassure me, she ain't talking to nobody. She this, that, and the third. All right, cool, whatever. So now we're getting closer for time for me to get there. She still hasn't asked me for no bread. She ain't trauma dump nothing on me. Literally she's actually, even my ex of 4 years didn't go this long without at least hitting me with some problems she had. Whether she asked for money or not, that's not the point. The point is at least telling me some crazy like situation, and she wouldn't do it. And she used to always tell me she's not that type. She likes to do things on her own, yada yada yada. All right, whatever. So as we're getting a little bit closer to me getting there, The vibe was a little different. Um, and I think like 2 nights before I got there, she ain't called me, and again, I don't care. It's just that she created the pattern of calling me all day, every day, and every night, and oh, let me know you got home, and I want to say good night. Oh, I want to see you before you go to bed, like all of that. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm just playing along, like I don't care, bro. Like whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the last few nights, she didn't do that, and I peeped that. I'm like, yo, Shorty is such a L, but I need my ROI. I'm pulling up, like I'm pulling up, like you know what I'm saying. I'm about to pull up, and cool. So I'm gonna see it through either way. And so I think the last night, I hit her up a call. She don't answer, and then she texts. She never does that, right? She would typically just call me back or answer. So I'm like, okay, so she's not for me, but I'm gonna be there. So let's see what it is in person. So I always, she dealt with me for a few months, never asked me for nothing. I took it upon myself, and I know some people are gonna hate me for this, but I say, you know what? I'm gonna send you a little $50 before I get there. That way, you could look your best because you're about to meet me. I don't want you to pull up and say, man, I didn't even get to do my hair or nothing. So hey, do what you can with this $55. You know, I've been there. You can do nails and hair for that price. Like I said, I've lived there. So her response shocked me. She goes, well, what is this for? And I said, oh, whatever, whatever you need. If you needed to do anything before I got there, that's what it's for, right? Mind you, the money is waiting in Western Union. She hasn't collected it yet. And honestly, this is the first bit of money I've sent someone in a very long time. You know what I'm saying? So she goes, well, that's not even enough for me. Because, oh, yeah, sorry, let me let you know. She's supposed to meet me in Santiago. Because even though she went to Bavaro, looking for work, yada, yada, yada. She's supposed to meet me in Santiago, right? That's the plan. Because I met her, she was in Santiago. So she said, when you come, don't worry, I'll still meet you in Santiago. So I said, all right. So she, again, just to be very clear, she did not ask me for anything. I took it upon myself to send her this and say, yo, just in case you need to do a little something before I get there, or transportation or whatever, nails, whatever. And again, she goes, well, what is this for? And I say, just in case you need to do anything before I get there. She said, but this is not even enough money to get me to Santiago. Mind you, she's been back and forth to Santiago at least like 4 or 5 times since I met her. And she's never told me it was costing bread to go back and forth. She's never mentioned anything. I would just see her on a bus. Cool. Obviously, I'm not stupid. I know it costs money, but I just assumed her sister was taking care of her. You feel me? Because she ain't asked me for nothing. So she says, well, this is not even enough to get me to Santiago, and we're supposed to meet in Santiago. So I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, $55 can't get you to Santiago? And she's like, yeah, it costs because everything in Punta Cana is expensive. And I'm just like, let me ask. I asked around, and some of the bros actually confirmed that, yeah, it's true. Punta Cana really is expensive like that. The taxis are this, and then she got to transfer from this to that bus, and then another transfer. And so some people say, yeah, it might cost maybe around $50 more or less. So I actually felt bad. I was like, dang, okay. So she was telling the truth, but I still didn't like the way she said it. I'm like, you didn't ask me for nothing, and you've been going back. Excuse me. You've been going back and forth on your own this long and never mentioned that it was costing this much. Mind you, she doesn't work. All of which are red flags. But at this point, I don't care. I'm pulling up. So, I just want to have a good time. I'm not worried about all the red flags because I'm not marrying Shorty, right? So, anyways, I'm like, wow, you didn't even ask me for even if it wasn't enough. You ain't asked me for no money. I sent it upon my own because I'm like, okay, do your hair and nails or something. So now, anyway, so now all of a sudden, she says it's not enough. So being offended, what I said to her was, all right, I'm gonna cancel the transaction with Western Union, and I'm gonna send you more. This wasn't my real plan. I said it because in my head I was thinking I'm gonna cancel it and I'm gonna block you, and that's what I get for sending somebody money before I get there. I should have stick to my rules to never send money, because look what happened. But so I said, yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna cancel it. I'm gonna send you some more. Sorry, I didn't know how much it costs. I was just playing dumb because I didn't want her to pick it up before I canceled it. So she's like, all right. So I canceled it, and then I said, you know what? I'm gonna give you the money in person, because Western Union was giving me issues, yada yada. I'm gonna just give you the money in person because I'm gonna be there tomorrow anyways. Yeah. So then she says, well, I can't get to Santiago. Things are bad right now. I can't get there. Like, I can't afford to get there. Mind you, she never asked me for money to get there when we was planning to meet there before. It was me who took it upon myself to send that before I get there. So now all of a sudden you can't get there without money to get there. So I said, you know what? All right, how about this? Since you're in Bavaro, that's closer to Santo Domingo. I'm going to go to Santiago. I'm going to enjoy Santiago for a little bit. And then, I'm going to work my way down, go to La Vega, Bonao, yada, yada. I'll meet you in Santo Domingo. That way it is easier for you to get to Santo Domingo. And she said, okay, fine, let's do that. So that was a plan. So that's how I ended up in Santiago alone. I was supposed to be with her, honestly. But anywho, so I hit her up the day when I was supposed to meet her in Santo Domingo. I hit her in the morning, and she hit me back like 3 p.m. And she goes, hey, and I'm like, what's good? And she's like, okay, well, I'm at the bus station. Should I go to Santo Domingo right now? Like, I'm about to go to Santo Domingo to meet you. Like, and I'm like, yo, you just hit me randomly at 3 p.m. saying you about to head to Santo Domingo right now. I said, listen, my life don't work like that. I plan out my day. I hit you early in the morning. You didn't respond. So I have to assume that I have to make other plans. I can't sit around with my phone in my hand waiting on you. So I made, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't just pop up. And she goes, and Lord, she took a little while to respond, and then she goes, well, I was already on my way to Santo Domingo. Now I'm back on my way home. I'm like, I was only making a point that you can't just do that because, I plan stuff out. But I'm like, I didn't say you had to go back home. You could have still came. It's just weird. I didn't hear from you all day, and now all of a sudden you're at the bus station. Like, what type of time you on? And she was like, I know, I'm so sorry. I promise I'll explain everything. I've been having a lot of problems. My son is sick, yada, yada, yada. And my sister had my phone all day. I'm like, the day you're supposed to meet me, your sister has your phone all day, and then you pop up at 3 p.m. I'm like, yo, whatever, shorty. And then she's like, I'm so sorry. I really want to meet you. I'm just like, yo, you got some other stuff going on. Have a good one. I'm finna go enjoy the rest of my trip. And I just left it right there. Right? Now, to top this story off, I've never met Shorty. And thank goodness I ain't send that money, because I have a feeling we may have never met. You know what I'm saying? So glad I canceled that Western Union transaction. This is why they say don't send money. Anyways, so just to put the icing on the cake, I'm like, man, I'm just curious if she a little bop. So I had one of the homies text her, and just say, I said, yo, I just got to Bavaro. What's good? And he sent it, random number, and he's like, where you at? Yada, yada, yada. And he's like, you available? And she's like, yeah, I'm available. And I'm like, dang, she didn't even say, he sent me the screenshot. I'm like, dang, she didn't even say, yo, who this? And I was like, what the heck? She put an extra streets. And then he hit me later like, nah, now she's asking who is this, how you met me and all of that. I'm like, yeah, but you supposed to say that first. I'm like, I guess then afterwards, after already saying, yeah, I'm free, yeah, I'm here, yada, yada. Now she's saying, wait, who are you, how you got my number, da, 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 da. So anyways, initial reaction was, yeah, I'm free. So I was like, she for the streets. So guys, man, if you ever thought to give your homie, a chick's number, do it. It's actually a really good idea because you'll be surprised at the way she would respond. So, anyways, thoughts, opinions, comments. If you made it to the end of this story time, drop a 100 in the comments. Just to summarize it, met a chick in Santiago, vetted her well, never sent no money. Until the day I was about to get there, the day before, I was trying to send her money to get her hair and nails done. I ended up canceling the transaction, and Shorty just ended up being an L. To this day, she just texted me yesterday. She gave me all the stories about how her son was in the hospital, and she doesn't like to tell anybody her problems because she don't want to make it seem like she's asking for help. All her life, she fought by herself. She don't need no help. Yada, 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 yada. To me, one big fat L. But lucky for me, I had like 5 others lined up because you always have to assume that people are going to flake or cancel or be a L. So I had others lined up, and I enjoyed myself, so I'm good. But like I said, thoughts, comments, opinions, please hit the like button for your boy, man, and drop 100 if you made it this far. Just made a new Patreon, about to drop new videos. I'm going to Brazil, I'm going to Colombia, so yeah, I'm still new to Patreon, so I'm still learning how to work it. So don't worry, new content will be up. So if you want, you could sign up. If not, you don't have to. But thanks for all y'all support. I appreciate y'all, man. Be blessed, and thank you for your time. I know your time is important to me, so I appreciate the support. All right, y'all, take it easy.